Let's welcome Auburn to the media room. Coach Bruce Pearl, please give us your thoughts on this morning's game.
It was a great win for our program. Xavier is very talented. Travis is one of the bright young coaches in this country, runs brilliant stuff offensively. And my guys will tell you, they're good. We rely on each other. It's as simple as that. We won the game because in the overtime period, in deep foul trouble, we had some guys step up and make plays. But we don't even get in that situation without these two guys, without Jared and Bryce. They're terrific backcourt. You can see the difference that experience makes. You just can't be afraid to fail. You just got to go out there and put it in the line. I thought these guys both did that. They both competed. And the difference, obviously was their outstanding play.
Thank you, Coach. Let's take questions for players. Myron?
Bruce, when you have a guy like Jared playing that way in that situation, how much of that is coaching and how much of that is you just letting him kind of do what he can do?
Okay. I'll answer that one, but next one's all players.
Yes, players first, please.
But
hold on here.
we're good. We're good.
Questions for the players.
I want to answer that because that's okay. Coaches get way too much credit when things go well, maybe a little too much when they don't go well. These guys are self-made players now. These guys are in the gym all the time. They're in the gym with my assistant coaches and with their dads and their families. And they just have paid the price. They came to Auburn to train. They came to Auburn to make history. They came to Auburn when Auburn wasn't very good. And it's all about the players. It's all about them, not about the coaching.
Players? Which player? Okay.
Obviously, we don't know the outcome of this game that's happening right now, fellas, but how much have you thought about the potential of playing a team like Duke tomorrow in this tournament?
Kind of lost my voice a little bit, but I would just say that we just take one game at a time. We just knew if we want to play schools like Duke and Gonzaga and Arizona, everybody else on the other side, we had to win the first one. So we took control of the first one. We were able to win the first one, and just ready to play for tomorrow.
Thanks, Jared.
Right, same thing. Coach preaches take one game at a time in this tournament right here. Because every team is talented, so you got to win the first one and get to the second one. And of course, Duke was is a target for us, and we're looking forward for that. Hopefully, depending on how this matchup goes today. So yeah.
Other questions for the player, Kanoa?
How ready are you guys for 3 straight games like this? I mean, that was a signature Maui Invitational type of battle.
I feel like we're more ready than anybody, to be honest with you. We have an extremely deep team. So I feel like, with guards and the bigs, we have a lot of depth. So, me and Jared play heavy minutes today. We're going to depend on our other guards and other bigs to, step in and probably play a few more minutes tomorrow just to, help with that fatigue that we took today. So, that's what I like about this team, just the depth. So I feel like we're more prepared than anybody with the experience and the players we have.
I just want to say, during this off season and during our first couple weeks of the season, coach has been preparing us for just playing 3 days in a row. If you win, lose, or whatever, you're gonna play 3 straight games. So we have to prepare our bodies for that.
Let's go to Shannon, then we'll come back to you, Myron.
For Jared and Bryce, you guys studied Xavier, obviously, leading up to this game. Was there anything in this contest that surprised you based on what you had seen on film of them?
I would say yes. I didn't feel like they could shoot the ball that well. They shot pretty good. Had to extend our defense a little more. That guards were really good. Had a few different actions that we didn't kind of go over, but we had to just adjust and stick to our principles. So I feel like we did pretty good though.
Thanks, Bryce.
We didn't go over them enough.
Myron up front.
All right. You guys both had a couple of big dunks with that dunk late. Everybody's talking about Jared's dunk for you. Bryce, what was
I tried to come back at Jared with a top 10 one, but you know it's hard to stop with the top one like that. That was crazy.
What impact does that have on the team when he makes those explosive plays?
Game over. Game over. I already knew it was over after that. You know, Jared is a phenomenal player. It's been a joy playing with him this past few years. So I mean, when he make plays like that, it just gives the whole team confidence. You know, on both ends of the court.
Final question for the players.
If it is Duke tomorrow, how much better do you guys have to play, and in what areas do you have to improve?
We just know that if we can defend and rebound, we can play with any team in the country. So I know that's gonna be a focus for us. We didn't rebound the ball today like we wanted to or how we expected. So I know we're gonna go back and look at just checking out and just if we're able to defend, like I said, and rebound, we're gonna be in good shape.
Thanks, Jared. We'll let you guys get back to your team.
Thank you.
Let's take questions for the coach now. Back to Myron.
Bruce, I think a lot of people expected certain players on that team to do well, but, you know, 6, 7 guys are doing things that maybe you didn't anticipate. You think that was sort of a wake-up call early, the early success they had, and how many guys were stepping up for them?
For Xavier?
Yeah, for you guys and adjusting to that, how many of their guys were doing so well early on?
Depth is a strength of ours, and yet, you know, our bench got outscored 31-16. And so I'm glad the kids gave the bench credit. We rely on the bench. We need more from the bench. There are some guys that come off the bench that can't be afraid to make plays. And when you play teams like this, you're not going to get stops unless you make plays. They're just not going to miss shots or not going to go across the offensive glass. Now, to our credit, we turned him over 22 times. An area that Bryce Brown does not get enough credit for is his defense. You know, Gooden's a terrific player. He shot 3 for 19, and he had 7 turnovers. I give Bryce Brown a lot of credit for that. Gooden's a heck of a good player. That was a big factor in us being able to win the game. You see their offense, but a lot of times it was their defensive plays. The kids are right. We got to do a better job of rebounding all across the board because way too many second chance points for Xavier. But that's one of the things they do really well.
Second row.
Coach, they shot pretty well in the second half, and then the team locked in overtime. What did you say to them? A lot of times you have to get your team to regroup. What did you say to them to kind of get them refocused in overtime because they locked in defensively?
Yeah, but I thought both teams early, remember the first several possessions, nobody could score. And I thought both teams did a good job defensively. You'd have to think at some point that fatigue had to be a factor, you know, late in that game. You know, we made a couple shots, got a couple of rebounds. We didn't give them the offensive rebounds that they had early. Stopped fouling them quite so much. You know, they went to the foul line a little bit, and so I think it was just we sucked it up, and I give our coaches and our trainers, you know, credit for our conditioning.
Any other questions for Coach? All right. One more? One more. Final question.
You get the SEC championship last year, but maybe not a lot of the popularity that might come from that for most people. Does your team still have sort of a chip, you know, even though you won a championship and maybe not getting the recognition it feels like it deserves?
Well, I think we feel like we have unfinished business, and the reason why at the end of the year we were down to 7 scholarship, maybe 8 scholarship guys. We were hurt. We limped into the tournament, had a heroic win against Charleston, and got blown out by Clemson. And, you know, we didn't have Austin Wiley. We didn't have D'Angelo Purifoy. Samir Dowdy was sitting out. And so I think all those factors. Then you got to remember, there's not a McDonald's All-American on that team. Only 2 5-stars in Austin Wiley and Chuma Okeke. The rest of those guys were 3s and 4s and got chips on their shoulders and feel like they got overlooked. So you have an opportunity to come out to Maui. Again, I give Dave Odom credit, you know, for trusting me, having been a colleague of mine in the SEC. I mean, he took a real chance inviting Auburn into this field, you know, because number one, if we weren't competitive, it would not look good. And number two, Auburn doesn't travel in basketball, we travel in football. And yet we had a great turnout. I think the combination of Maui and our team playing well and the real honor that we felt about representing the SEC and being in this amazing tournament. So I'm proud of Auburn for representing this morning.
Thank you, Coach. We're proud to have you here. Good luck tomorrow.